Hey guys, it's Wednesday, May 22nd, and this is Treasure Christ Today. Welcome back. We're in John 16 today, so grab your Bibles and follow along with us as we read and have a short devotional together. Starting in verse 1, I have told you these things to keep you from stumbling. They will ban you from the synagogues. In fact, a time is coming when anyone who kills you will think he is offering service to God. They will do these things because they haven't known the Father or me. But I have told you these things so that when their time comes, you will remember I told them to you. I didn't tell you these things from the beginning because I was with you. But now I am going away to him who sent me, and not one of you asked me, where are you going? Yet, because I have spoken these things to you, sorrow has filled your heart. Nevertheless, I am telling you the truth. It is for your benefit that I go away. Because if I don't go away, the counselor will not come to you. If I go, I will send him to you. When he comes, he will convict the world about sin, righteousness, and judgment. About sin, because they do not believe in me. About righteousness, because I am going to the Father, and you will no longer see me. And about judgment, because the ruler of this world has been judged. I still have many things to tell you, but you can't bear them now. When the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all the truth. For he will not speak on his own, but he will speak whatever he hears. He will also declare to you what is to come. He will glorify me, because he will take from what is mine and declare it to you. Everything the Father has is mine. This is why I told you that he takes from what is mine and will declare it to you. In a little while you will no longer see me. Again, in a little while you will see me. Then some of his disciples said to one another, what is this he's telling us? In a little while you will not see me. Again, in a little while you will see me. And because I am going to the Father, they said, what is this he is saying in a little while? We don't know what he's talking about. Jesus knew they wanted to ask him, and so he said to them, are you asking one another about what I said? In a little while you will see me, or you will not see me. Again, in a little while you will see me. Truly I tell you, you will weep and mourn, but the world will rejoice. You will become sorrowful, but your sorrow will be turned to joy. When a woman is in labor, she has pain because her time has come. But when she has given birth to a child, she no longer remembers the suffering because of the joy that a person has been born into the world. So you also have suffering now, but I will see you again. Your hearts will rejoice, and no one will take away your joy from you. In that day you will not ask me anything. Truly, I tell you, anything you ask the Father in my name, he will give you. Until now you have asked for nothing in my name. Ask, and you will receive, so that your joy may be complete. I have spoken these things to you in figures of speech. A time is coming when I will no longer speak to you in figures, but I will tell you plainly about the Father. On that day you will ask in my name, and I am not telling you that I will ask the Father on your behalf. For the Father himself loves you, because you have loved me, and I believed that I came from God. I came from the Father and have come into the world. Again, I am leaving the world and going to the Father. His disciples said, look, now you're speaking plainly and not using any figurative language. Now we know that you know everything, and you don't need anyone to question you. But this we believe, that you came from God. Jesus responded to them, do you now believe? Indeed, an hour is coming, and has come, when each of you will be scattered to his own home, and you will leave me alone. Yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. You will have suffering in this world. Be courageous. I have conquered the world. This is the word of the Lord. Here in John 16, Jesus is warning the disciples about what will happen to them when they follow Jesus. They'll be banned from the synagogues. Indeed, verse 2 tells us a time will come when people will even kill Jesus's disciples and think that they are offering service to God. That time would happen in the book of Acts. We would see this in the young man Saul as he would drag Christians back to the Jewish authorities and seek for them to be killed, offering a service to God, thinking that they were honoring God. But they will do those things because they didn't know the Father. And Jesus tells the disciples about this now ahead of time so that they would be able to remember them. He didn't tell them in the beginning these things because he was with them, but now that he is going away, he tells them these things. And yes, sorrow will fill their hearts, but Jesus tells them this truth. It's better for you that I leave than if I were to stay. This has been a head scratcher for me for much of my life. What could be better than having Jesus right here on earth? Well, just consider about this. If Jesus were here on earth, he wouldn't be anywhere near you and I. He would be over on the other side of the world. We would be thousands of miles away. He would just be one person in one place in one room. But now Jesus says, it's better for you that I go away because I'm going to send the counselor, the Spirit of God, and he will indwell every single believer everywhere on earth. Isn't that better that we have the Spirit of Christ dwelling with us at all times? And when he comes, he does a work of conviction to the world. The Spirit convicts the world about sin, righteousness, and judgment. He convicts the world about their lack of belief in Jesus. He convicts the world about their lack of righteousness and their unrighteousness in seeking to kill Jesus. And he convicts the world about their judgment because the ruler of this world, Satan, has been judged in the death and resurrection of Jesus. And so Jesus says, I have so much more to tell you, but you can't bear them now. And that is actually what the Spirit of truth is going to do. He is going to guide you into all truth. You are going to be able to hear him, and he's going to speak to you on behalf of whatever he hears from the Father and the Son. And he'll declare it to you, and then you will be able to believe it. The Spirit's role, verse 14, is to glorify the Son. And how does he do that? He takes what is Jesus's and takes what is the Father's and declares it to us. So as we obey the Spirit and believe the Spirit, the Son is glorified. Now then Jesus tells him in verse 16, in a little while you will see me no longer, but then and again, a little while after that, you will see me again. Jesus, speaking figuratively here, is speaking of his death, and then 3 days later, his resurrection. And when his resurrection occurs, there is going to be so much joy. The weeping and mourning and sorrow that will pass through the night after his death, it will turn into joy. Jesus uses a beautiful analogy here that when a woman is in labor, she is in deep pain, but when she gives birth to the child, she doesn't remember the suffering. She focuses on the joy of the baby in her arms. And so it is the case that when Jesus was raised from the dead, there was a joy that broke out into the hearts of Jesus' disciples that have never been put out. It was a lighted fire, and it has spread, and it's spread to you and I today. This joy that we have is a joy because of Jesus being raised back from the dead. And so we ought to ask and receive from the Father so that the joy of Jesus would be made complete in us. That is our point of being one with Jesus, connected, and our will being aligned with his will, so that when we ask according to the Father's will, we will receive it and we will rejoice. Jesus came from the Father and has come into the world, and he is leaving the world to go to the Father. And he has done that for our good. Now the hour has come, Jesus tells them, that they will be scattered. But he encourages them in the midst of their scattering, in the midst of their suffering, to be courageous, not because they will conquer the world, but because Jesus has conquered the world. That is what we rest in today. Love you guys. Hope you've had a great day with us here on Treasure Christ Today. We'll see you back here tomorrow for John 17. Grace and peace.